Hey guys, I'm Max Laferriere. I played Ghostface in Scream 6, and you're watching Craven Something Scary.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, visitors, subscribers, my patrons, and of course, my channel members. You know who you are. That's right, my Cravenites. Welcome to Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. And guys, we are here for a very special stream. One I've been looking forward to ever since, well, actually, I've been looking forward to it ever since I started this channel over 3 years ago before I knew him, but especially after getting to meet him just last month here on the channel. And you got a lot of you here for that, I'm sure. And if you weren't, be sure to check out the replay as we were talking about the amazing event, A Night of Screams, which is we're going to talk a lot more about later as well. But I met him for the first time there. And of course, my guest tonight is Jeff Brockton, as you know, Ghostface in Scream 3. And I'm on a mission on my YouTube career to meet every Ghostface, or at least one of every Ghostface that appeared in all movies. And so, you know what? When Scream 3, as you guys know, I talk about it a lot here. I love Scream 3. It's got its own flavor and vibe. And all of Wes's movies do, even though they share the DNA, they're still different. And that's what's so amazing about them. But I get ahead of myself. But I've been so excited to talk with Jeff about Scream 3, one of the movies I truly in my heart hold dear. And so, guys, we've got him for a whole hour tonight. So time goes very fast. And as you guys know, I want to be very respectful of Jeff's time that he's giving us tonight to be an open book, if you will. And that means a lot to me personally. And I know it does to you. So here's the deal. Submit your questions in the chat. We'll get to as many as possible. However, remember, with only a limited time and volume, we're not going to get to everybody's questions. So please do not take it personal if your question is not put on screen or addressed. But I promise you this, if you sent a super chat question in, I will make sure that Jeff does see the question. We get to get it addressed, or your comment, whichever it might be, and you will move ahead of everyone else in line. So if you have that real burning question about Scream 3 and being Ghostface and all that comes with it, this is your opportunity to have access to Jeff right now live. And super chats always are welcome to support the channel and also move you to the front. All right. So having said that, we got all that behind us. A blanket hello to all of you in the chat. I see you here and I scroll, I see your name. So just know that I know you're here. Too much, not enough time to go name by name. Okay. So blanket hello. And let's get to it. Let's welcome my very special guest tonight. You know him as Ghostface in Scream 3. Please welcome Jeff Brockton. Welcome, Jeff.
Hello, Stephen. Thank you for having me on tonight. That's awesome.
Oh,
I appreciate being here.
Well, listen, no, thank you. I was going to say the same thing. I appreciate you being here. It's an honor to have you, and I know my audience is very excited. My supporters here at the channel.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. It's exciting evening for me as well, and I hope to be able to answer all the questions everybody wants as well. But this is wonderful. Thanks.
You bet, man. So exciting. And hey, real quick, it would be a disservice if I don't acknowledge just a few people here. Okay, real fast.
Sure.
We've got some channel anniversaries. Carrie Crave Cinema, what is up, my friend? 28 months you've been a member of my channel as a Cravenite. Carrie, we go way back. And thank you so much. It says, this is the Ghostface has some amazing teleport skills. That's right. Absolutely. Or as I like to say, Roman's accomplice in Scream 3. Jeff, I got so many theories. I could spend an hour talking about them, but I won't. I won't. But thank you, Carrie, for your support. Moderating tonight's chat is Sarah Campbell, the amazing Sarah. And she's also celebrating an anniversary. 25 months as a channel member over
Wow,
2 years.
Great. That's great.
Isn't it? It's just so amazing. It moves me, to be quite frank.
Sarah, that's awesome.
Sarah, thank you. Thank you for all you've done. She says, hey, everybody, this is going to be a great stream. Yes, it is. And thank you for moderating it. Everyone in the chat, if you would give Sarah a virtual clap and hello, and thanks for moderating. She's so amazing. Appreciate all you do, Sarah. And hey, JT over at Dead Print Studio, my buddy JT, 25 months as well. Over 2 years. My God.
Awesome, JT.
25 months. Wow. I remember the first stream I watched. Oh, JT, time flies. Yes, it does, man. That's incredible. And I appreciate you sticking with me, still supporting the channel, and still being a good friend. Thank you, buddy. That's awesome. And RJ's been a member for a month. How about that? All right, RJ, thank you for your support, and I hope you continue to enjoy the content and support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. All right, so I do have a super chat in from Paula. So Paula, we'll get to that in a minute. I do have it, just letting you know. And super chats are going to be lined up first, so keep them coming in, guys. Jeff.
Yes.
Get started if we could. I'm ready. I am ready.
All right.
So I just want to ask you, and we talked a little bit backstage, and I was like, you know what? I can't wait to ask you more about this.
Yeah.
So you could kind of share with us how the whole opportunity, because you've done a ton of stuff. Like your resume is impressive, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
I've
been very blessed in the business. A little over 200 and something shows, 220 shows. I've had the opportunity to work on, but specifically Scream 3 is incredible to be a part of at all. So
yes.
Actually, I didn't know anything about being in the movie at all. I had no idea that Scream 3 was the movie I was being hired for. Rick Avery, the stunt coordinator and second unit director, gave me a call, and I had doubled Scott Foley before in the past, and he said, hey, I need you to double Scott and come on in on the show. And that's exactly how it became me getting on the movie. So I had no idea until I got there what the movie even was. So pretty amazing. Yeah.
That is amazing. Now, let me ask you this. And when you got onto set and you were, or when you first realized, let's put it that way, that it was Scream 3.
Yeah.
Did you have like a prior history knowing the Scream movies, how popular they are?
What's funny is no, I did not.
Okay. All right.
In 2000, I had already been in the business for quite a little bit, not very long, but for a little bit. And it was something that I was not a huge horror fan to begin with, even though I had already done Blade and a couple other. Did I do Blade before that? I think I did. I can't remember now, but other shows. And but I wasn't a giant horror fan at the time. So when I got in and they said, oh, here's your costume, I thought I was doubling Scott to double Scott. And then they said, okay, here's a costume. This is what you're putting on. And then realized what it was. And that this was an iconic situation, but it still didn't register while I was making the film. None of it registered. I was there to do a job and have fun doing it. Wes Craven was incredible, and the actors are wonderful. And like I said, I had worked with Scott before, but I really didn't register what the iconic background was already.
Wow. Oh man, I tell you, and it's funny you say that because that's exactly what I was gonna say, is that you stepped into an iconic, still to this day, if not more iconic role as one of the very few people on planet Earth that have been Ghostface in a Scream film.
Very, very, very fortunate. Yeah. And to be in the trilogy in the first 3, we didn't think there was going to be a 4, 5, 6. even into a 7. We didn't know that was even going to be a possibility. Wes had said that's not happening. The actors had said, no, this is it. So, I mean, everything, we thought it was wrapped up after that anyway. So just to
Yeah.
be a part of the trilogy was incredible.
Amazing. And how does it feel now? You know, well, it was released in 2000, filmed in
Yes.
99.
Yeah.
So we'll just make the math easy. 25 years later,
Sure.
looking back on it, how
Yeah.
do you feel knowing that you are an alumni of Ghostface? How does that feel to you whenever you let yourself indulge yourself, you know? How does
Sure.
that feel?
Honored. Honestly, the only word that comes up is honored to be a part of it at all. And
Wow.
that the fans love it so much. They love Wes so much. They love the character
Yes.
so much. And, you know, playing the character, it's, again, you don't realize it at the time, but then when you look
Yes.
back on it, you think, gosh, I got a chance to do that, and that was a lot of fun. I got a chance to fight Dewey and to, you know, throw Tyson off a balcony, and all these different things that I got a chance to do. And but in the costume, you make the costume come alive, and the you know, the face is just an inanimate object, but to actually make it come alive and be a part of that and act inside the costume is probably the best part of that.
Amazing. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. It's so amazing. Um, Now, what I'd like to ask before we get into specific scenes, because we're gonna dive into some of your amazing scenes that we all know well,
sure.
and I literally can play them in my head. I don't even need to turn on the movie.
Right.
I can see it unfolding, you know, because that's just because I'm a Scream fanatic, as you
Sure.
know.
Sure.
Probably seen Scream 3. Yeah, I don't want to exaggerate, but I also don't want to undersell what I've watched. I'm going to put it around 150 to 200 times now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
could almost quote the script lines in most cases, but
That's incredible.
um,
Very
just
good.
because I just connect with it with Scream and the characters, and I just love it. I've loved it, and that's why I've loved having this channel. As you know, I've really named my channel in honor of Wes. That's why I say it's
Oh,
Craven, not
that's
Craving.
awesome. Sure.
And you know, anyway, but enough about me. So, without getting into specific scenes too much,
Sure.
just your overall shooting schedule. What was your schedule like? How do you remember how many weeks you filmed? What was your average
I
day?
I don't. I was in and out, in and out. It wasn't
Okay.
consecutive. So we had,
Okay.
remember at that time too, they were rewriting the scripts. They were, because of
Yes.
Columbine
Yes.
happening, they shut it
That's right.
down, remade a whole new movie. And even while we were there, Wes was still writing on set as we were there.
Yes.
But you know, it was on and off, a few days here, a few days there, and I was sharing it with the other Ghostface, Brian Avery. So we had a chance to do a lot of different things at different times throughout the film.
Wonderful. And you know, I'm
Yeah,
glad you just clarified something uh, that I've been saying for so many years in general, but especially here on the channel. And a lot of people don't realize this, I don't believe, because he's uncredited as a writer. But I've been telling folks, look, I remember Wes specifically saying in an
yeah,
interview one time that Aaron Kruger, he locked him in a room basically to write, and Wes was writing too. He was doing
yes,
rewrites, he was
oh
marking up
yes,
scripts, he was
yeah.
so
They were
this
changing on the
screen,
fly. Actually, during filming, they were
yes,
changing on the fly. I mean, there was things that they just went, let's do it this way, and then they would rewrite it separately. I mean, it happened on set. So, and then
amazing.
actors would have some feedback as well, which is wonderful.
Okay.
But
Yep.
they were really they were making a show as we were going, which is incredible.
Incredible, and the execution, you would
Yeah,
never know it. When you watch
yeah,
Scream 3, there's nothing about that film that feels rushed
yeah.
or out of sync. It flows wonderfully.
Yeah. If I
Um,
recall, majority of it was done. They just kept adjusting as they went, but they really
yep.
pumped something out that was well worth watching. So it was pretty cool.
Yes,
And especially
absolutely.
because Columbine was killings
Yeah,
in a high school
right.
that really happened, unfortunately, in our history.
Yes.
That's why they had to change the entire script around. So they
Yep.
had to they made it a little bit more tame, a little bit more fights, which is awesome for us. So we had an opportunity to do that. But
Yes.
basically,
Just
that was
less blood, right? Just less
exactly,
gore.
exactly.
Yeah,
Let's score. Exactly.
and that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now I'm kind of saving some of your scenes as like icing on the cake because it's like the dessert. And so before we get to the dessert, I want to just spend just if you wouldn't mind a little more time because you brought up Wes already. And
Yes.
how would you, from your perspective, describe the feeling on set? What type of an environment did Wes establish when you're on set?
Family, honestly. I mean, it just felt like everybody was happy and enjoying, and
Hmm.
it was, he was always smiling. There wasn't anger. There wasn't anything that you just like went, oh, crud, he's yelling at people or any of that. None of that ever happened. We were just, it was, hey,
Wonderful.
let's try this. Let's try this. I mean, even that whole thing that happened with me and Courtney, where she threw the vase at my head and it split my head open
Yes.
during all that time and that whole scene, he never got upset. He was like, okay, props, let's go. Come on, let's get this right. Let's find the vase that isn't gonna hurt him here. But it was still just very calm, very even, and
Mm.
just enjoyable. He made the set fun, so that makes it even better.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah,
And everyone I asked that question to that I've had the privilege of meeting worked with Wes,
yeah,
they share a similar sentiment that you do. That
yeah,
it was such a calming presence with
sure,
Wes, and
for sure.
it could have been World War III going around everywhere, but he was as calm as could be.
Yeah,
And I wish I had the honor to have met him. I just never had the privilege. But
yeah,
you know what, Jeff, you and others are keeping his legacy alive by telling the stories. And
yeah,
that's the thing, man. You
yeah,
know, his legacy lives through his film, of course, his films,
sure, sure.
but the stories are what people don't know. It's the behind the scenes stuff.
Right,
Um, so
right.
can I ask, if I may, and not to pry, but
No.
do you have any special moments you had with Wes, or a special moment that you would like to share tonight? Like anything come to mind, or try a discussion or anything, just how he
Yeah.
directed you, maybe?
Yeah, well, one of the scenes specifically, uh, one of the ideas is, like I said earlier, the mask is an inanimate object, and one
Yeah.
of the things that Wes wanted was a way for us to make it come alive, right? So when
Hmm.
you're in a mask, you can make every face you want, but the mask doesn't change.
That's
You can
right.
huff and puff, you can do whatever you want. But Wes had a way of finding a way to pull it out of you as an actor, because we're actors as well, not just stunt performers, but we're actors as well.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
I am in the mask, but playing a character still as well, and I have to emote some sort of emotion through the mask. And so Wes and I would talk about that, as well as others on the set, and we were just trying to figure out the best way to make it work. And so
Okay.
you have the freedom with Wes to be able to experience or try different things. And one of the specific ones I remember, upstairs after I had fought David Arquette, Dewey, and we were in a fight up top, and I get distracted to run after Courtney, and it's that type where you're this way, you're walking, and then you realize it, and you stop, and you turn back, and you tilt your head, and then the movement of your own head and things like that, and how your body starts to move, and then you attack.
Yes.
That's all stuff that he allows you to say, okay, play with it, see what works, see how, what we want to do, and then I do that, and he goes, perfect. Let's keep that in. Let's move on. That kind of stuff. So you have a chance
Wow.
to play with it, which is great.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. And did he do, I mean, did he do like, I guess what I'm trying to say is not coaching, but like before a scene, right? You were going to
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
Um, how did he like get with you a lot beforehand? Say, hey, like you're saying, like, I want a motion. Did you kind of go through that, or was that more you and the stunt coordinator?
That was more of, I would say, more of Rick Avery, the coordinator, and I,
Yes, Rick.
and
Okay.
and it was fun because, to be honest, both Brian and I were, like I said, we're in the costume as well, and so we got to play off each other. So he would do some things, I would do some things, and we don't want anybody to know who the character is that's killing as well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
because he doubled David Arquette, and I was doubling Scott, but we didn't know at
Yep.
that time, you know, who the killer was. So the idea is we got a chance to move in the costume and make it come alive together. And that was a collaboration event. So it really wasn't one thing I did or anybody else. But
Yes.
Wes
Okay.
just said, yes, I like it. Yes, I like it. You know, stuff like that. So yeah,
And I bet that had to feel good hearing
it
Wes
did.
Craven
Yeah,
compliment your work. That's
definitely.
you know, wow.
Definitely. Yeah.
Um, well, Jeff, how about this? We got a couple of super chats. Let's go and see what some
Sure.
folks are thinking out here in the chat. Paula has sent in a $2 super chat to support the channel. Thank you, Paula. Her question is, Jeff, are you officially coming back for Scream 7? Oh, boy.
Well, one, if I were, I couldn't tell you.
That's
But
right.
because unfortunately I'm not, I will not be in Scream 7.
Darn it.
There were no stunts for Scott that he personally can't do a few things for himself as well. So
Okay.
even though I had talked to the coordinator,
Yep.
they informed me that unfortunately they didn't have anything for me on the show. So no, I'm not
Oh,
going to be part of 7, unfortunately.
that's a bummer. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? At least you went for it, right? I mean,
Oh,
you had,
sure. Sure.
especially when you see Scott Foley's back. I bet that was
Oh,
like,
yes.
oh
Yeah,
man, you know?
for sure. Yes.
Oh, Jeff,
Agreed.
that would have been great.
I
Well,
would have loved to. I know Lee Waddell and Alan Robinson and I all talked about it in the past, and you know, being able to make a cameo appearance or something happening. But
right,
in
right.
this case, no. Unfortunately, I'm not a part of 7.
Shame on you, Kevin Williamson. Yes, I said
I
that. I
would
love
have
Kevin
loved that.
Williamson, but darn shame on you, my
Yeah,
friend.
we would have loved
Um,
that. That would have been great.
Would have been so great, man. But
Yeah.
you know what? You've done a lot of great things already in the Scream world, so there's plenty to celebrate.
I've
So,
been very blessed with the cons as well. The people are incredible, I have to say.
oh
All of
man,
you and your fans and your followers and I got to tell you, there's some pretty incredible people out there, and I love meeting
yes.
them all. So it's been great doing conventions as well.
And we're going to talk about a very special event here in just a moment that you're
Yeah,
going to be a part of, which is
yeah.
incredible. Those of you who've been on my channel for any length of time over the last couple of months, you already know what we're going to talk about. But you know what? It needs to be talked about because it's so special. And before we dive into that, I want to have another super chat I want to share.
Okay.
My good friend Jen Werner, who's been a part of this channel, Jeff, since I started in September of 2022.
Wow. Okay.
And she was one of my original subscribers. So
Hello, Jen.
sh-
All right.
she's a great friend. So Jen sent a generous $10 super chat. Jen, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. And she says, it
Oh,
hurts to
great.
type with a broken arm, but I would not miss an interview with the Ghostface from my favorite sequel.
Oh,
And
that's incredible, Jen. I'm sorry you have a broken arm. I don't know how that happened, but
oh,
you're not supposed to do stunts, apparently.
that's good. Let's leave the stunt work to Jeff,
Yes.
Jen.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
her question for you is, how many actors slash stunt people actually played Ghostface in Scream 3?
Just in 3, just Brian and I, just 2 of us. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then the actors, of course, were in costume occasionally. Scott was in his costume, but Brian and I were
Mm-hmm.
the 2 stunt guys that were on the film. So, yeah.
You did the work, in other
Yes,
words.
we did the work. We did the run. We did the running, the fights, the falls, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Um,
At least that's what I
and
recall.
no.
I
Oh, that's
never know.
awesome.
You never know. What's different is sometimes they'll do reshoots. They'll do things like that. So you don't
Sure,
know if somebody
sure.
else comes back in the future. But from my recollection,
Yeah.
the only 2 that did it were Brian and I.
Fantastic. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jen, for your question and your
Thank you,
super
Jen.
chat.
Yeah.
Very, very kind of your for your support. We got another super chat, Jeff,
Great.
for you that's come through. My Stella, hey Stella G, good to see you here tonight with a $5 contribution to the channel. I appreciate that. Says Jeff, when looking at your credits, I saw stunt coordinator listed. Do you mind explaining the duties and responsibilities are for a coordinator? Great
Yes.
question.
Oh, great question. Yes. So I have had the opportunity over the years, 36 years doing this, coming into
Wow.
37 now, and have been a stuntman, an actor, a coordinator, a rigger, and I do water
Wow.
safety. I'm a rescue diver, all these different things that we've done. But
Wow.
stunt coordinator specifically is something that oversees the stunts that are going on. I mean, specifically,
Okay.
that's what we're doing. So we're going to be hiring other stunt performers to play characters in a show, whether they're either seen as a cop or a bad guy or whatever it is, or doubling
Okay.
such as what we did in costume, something like that. So, but the coordinator basically oversees and runs the stunts themselves, sets them up, and makes sure they're carried out in the most safe way possible. I mean, that's the biggest thing on set is safety, of course. So
Yeah.
anything that we do stunt wise, which can be very, very dangerous, not only with weapons, explosives, whatever it is, which are different departments, but we all collaborate together and make sure that everybody's safe on set and that we can actually keep our actors safe and ourselves safe. So the stunt coordinator is responsible for all that.
That's fantastic, and it's such a
Yeah.
responsibility too, right? That's like a
Yeah.
lot of responsibility.
It is a big
Um,
responsibility because people's lives are in danger when you're doing stunt work many, many times. So you have to be
mhm.
careful, not only who you pick and the stunt itself, but to know what's going on. And even what is it something that I've done before? Is it something that I need to
Mhm.
hire somebody that knows more than I do?
Mhm.
Stunt coordinators don't know everything, so we hire people that know what stunts, certain stunts are. Like skydivers, I skydive, but I would not say that I'm the best skydiver out there, so I'd hire somebody that's a better skydiver if I have a skydiving stunt, and then
Mhm.
we collaborate on the best way to do that kind of stuff. So but I've had the opportunity to do fire burns and car crashes and jumps off buildings and all
Wow.
different things. So I've had the opportunity to do a lot of different things, which broadens my horizons as a coordinator as well, so that I know how to handle that on set, talk to the directors and the producers about what we need to make everybody safe and make it look as spectacular as possible.
Wow, incredible. What a career. That is so awesome, man. I applaud you for
Thank you.
not just screen work, but as I told you earlier, your resume is beyond impressive. You've
I
done like
appreciate it.
36 years, you said. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
coming into 37 now. Yeah,
amazing.
still
I have
working, which is great.
It's still working right now.
Yeah,
Jeff is
yeah,
available. Call his agent.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
ready to
exactly.
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's
exactly.
really awesome. And seriously though,
Thank you.
and I didn't get a chance to tell you when you were here last on the big panel, but
Yeah,
something that if you go through my interviews playlist here on the channel, you'll notice a lot of the stunt community in the film business because I believe you and your peers do not receive the recognition and acknowledgement you should,
yeah,
especially by the general movie watching public who's really unaware of
yeah.
so much of this stuff, unlike we are, who are like digging into everything.
Right.
Um, but I just want to tell you on behalf of myself and everyone here on the channel, I can speak for all of us. Thank you for what you do, because if it wasn't for the effort, the work ethic, the authentic performances that you and your peers give, especially speaking with you, the movies would not be believable. They would
Well, we
not.
appreciate that. We appreciate it very, very much. Very much. The actors that we work with have a lot to do with that as well. So that we,
Sure.
we're they might be seen and we're behind the scenes in a sense, even though we're seen doing the stunts and things.
Mhm.
But we never, most stunt guys didn't get into it for the accolades, or we'd be the
Right.
one on camera. We got into it because we love what we do. And
Yes.
every day is something different. Every day is, um, you get to be a kid forever. Number one, I get to crash
Yeah.
cars. Hey, what are you doing today?
Right.
I don't know. I'm going to get hit by a car. Okay. Well, you don't normally do that. That's
No.
something totally different. But the background that each of us has is very broad as well. I got very
Mhm.
fortunate early on where I had gymnastics and judo and aikido and race cars and race jet skis and downhill snow skiing and all these. I had a lot of things I did, plus the normal stuff, the sports like wrestling and football and all those
Mhm.
things. All those things play into becoming a stunt performer and being well
Wow.
rounded, doing that kind of stuff. So,
Wow.
yeah, we appreciate that very much that you say that. as stunt performers and actors.
Oh
And
yeah.
we hope we can always do better for you guys and make everything look as believable as possible. There's going to be some
Wow.
AI changes in the future that we're hearing about that aren't our favorite. But,
Yeah.
changes happen and life moves forward. But hopefully, with what we offer, we're offering more emotion
Hmm.
than AI can maybe offer. So
Hmm.
hopefully, we won't
Yeah.
be pushed out totally.
Oh, Jeff, I hope not. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a whole nother bag of worms because
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you, I'm not a fan of that, and I could, oh man, gets me upset
Yeah.
because, you
Well,
know,
unfortunately, it is the way we're going. I don't want to say unfortunately. Our
yeah,
our our where everything's growing, everything changes,
right,
and you
it
you just
does.
roll with it, and you do the
Yep.
best you can with it, and you just keep moving forward and keep a positive attitude. That's all I keep thinking about.
Well, that's, you know what? That's all you can control.
Sure.
That's it. That's all.
Yep.
The
Yep.
rest of
Agreed.
it, you have no control of, right? That's the way I look at
Correct.
it.
Correct.
So,
Very, very true. Very
you
true.
know, or as others would say, you're keeping your eye on the prize. What can I do?
Sure.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, it's really my pleasure. To use this platform that I believe God blessed me with to try to bring
Wonderful.
some light to places that not that doesn't get a lot of light.
Right.
And
Right.
anyway, but thank you, man, because and speaking of like making things look real and let's and I do have some more super chats coming in,
Sure.
guys. Keep those coming. I will get to them, I promise. But I have some questions too.
Sure.
And so, Jeff, when we're talking about Scream 3, there's many memorable scenes.
Sure.
A lot. One of them that I always remember is poor Christine, and how she was tormented, even to the
Yes.
point where she hears Cotton, or she thinks she hears Cotton in the
Yes.
other across the door or
Sure.
down the hall. This girl was tormented, but you had the actual privilege, I guess I'll call it privilege, yeah, I would, of actually killing Christine in
I,
Scream 3.
I do
Tell
remember
us.
doing that, and it was a wonderful situation to be in. So, an opening kill is always a nice thing to be a part of. And
Yes. Yes.
Kelly is a wonderful woman to work with as well. Very, very
Mhm.
sweet lady. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun to be a part of that first kill, which is great.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Did you guys do a lot of rehearsing together with her, or how
Yeah,
did that
I
go?
mean, basically what you're doing is you're going to go through the motions of everything, and of course, stabbing from behind. It's one of those things that you got to be timed out and all that kind of stuff as well. So all the timing has to be
Yes.
right. So yeah, no, we
Wow.
did. Yeah, yeah,
Man, that just incredible. What a scene to be a part of,
yeah,
the opening of Scream 3.
yeah.
Um, and there's another couple of scenes that really,
Sure.
really stand out to me. One of them is the iconic, I'm calling it iconic for me, the epic, if you will, upstairs battle or fight
Yeah.
in Milton's mansion.
Yes.
And we have this scene set where you've got Gail, right? You've got
Yep.
Dewey,
Yep.
you've got Jennifer Jolie,
Yep.
right? Parker
Yeah.
Posey, as it will.
Parker. Sure.
And you've got Tyson that's in the
Yep.
mix as well.
Sure.
Can you and you are the ghost face that we see the entire sequence in there. Am I right
I
on
was
that? The
I
fight
was very
scene.
for all the stuff in that bedroom and down that hallway and all the way through throwing Tyson off. I was very, very blessed to be a part of all of that and actually do the
Wow.
fight with David Arquette, do the punch, do the stuff in the hallway running down. That's where that turn comes from, as
Mhm.
well as getting hit in the head with a vase by Courtney Cox when she jumps up onto the bed, throws the vase at my head. Now,
That's
I was
right.
laughed at saying vase and vase. So I had Matthew and Skeet both go, which is it? Is it a vase or a vase? Because we were at a con not too long ago together, and they
Oh.
because I said vase, and they're like, it's a vase. Come on now. But so anyway, got to be a part of
Oh.
that. And then all the Tyson throwing off the balcony and all that stuff
Yes.
was awesome.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah,
How
all
did
those
that
scenes were great.
feel, Jeff, that scene with Tyson in the balcony? What
Oh,
does
it's
it feel
great.
like to chunk a guy off the
Yeah,
balcony?
yeah. Well, it was a fun scene to do, number one, and
Yeah.
I can't remember. I off the top of my head, I can't remember who his double was at that
Uh-huh.
time. But
Okay.
if I recall, we went into boxes, threw him over the edge into boxes that
Mhm.
the crew set up, the stunt crew set up, and that's what I recall from that. But it was a lot of fun. We had a good time with it.
Wow.
But the actors, I got to say, the actors, when you're doing stunts with them, enjoy it so much. They
Mhm.
they they play with it. They want to experience it. They want to. A lot of them want to do it themselves, of course. And there's certain things you can't do, and certain things you can do. So you work things out. That's one of the pictures from upstairs. That's me in my
Wow.
costume there. So
Fantastic.
yeah. So it's fun. It's fun for both of us, not just the stunt players, but the actors as well. We have a good time.
Now, Jeff, I have to ask you this because I
Yeah.
don't think I didn't ask you this specific question, but I want to ask you now. Um, when you put on, I'm going to show this for a minute. When you
Sure.
put that robe on, right?
Yeah.
You put that mask on. You get and you get the buck 120 in your
Yeah.
hand.
Sure.
How does that feel? Do you feel like I am Ghostface?
Well, the funny thing is, it's again, I didn't really realize the Ghostface character when I was playing Ghostface.
I got
But
you.
because I have done other things in masks, where I'm hidden behind it and I'm playing a character,
Hmm.
you can do anything you want because you're not being seen. So
Yes.
somehow your ego goes away, but your power, your core comes up, and you start thinking, I'm invincible because no one has a clue what you're doing. And
Yeah.
people would jump even when you're not even filming. You come around the corner and somebody jump because
I
here,
bet.
here you come in a black cloak and a scary
Ooh.
mask and a knife. So they would jump anyway, even on set. But yeah,
Wow.
it makes you feel almost invincible.
I bet.
And you can use our fights definitely pump up a little bit more. Everything you feel a little stronger within the costume, whatever it is. And that was the same with Ghostface as well.
So cool. Had to ask
Yeah.
that because that's how I always would envision it.
Yeah.
I bet that's got to feel so empowering,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, plus
Um,
I also, for myself, I want to make sure that the actor I'm doubling, Scott, who is a wonderful man,
yeah.
I'm portraying him like he wants to be portrayed. So I'm there for him as well, even though I'm in the costume and I'm doing the acting in the costume and so on.
Mhm.
I want to make sure that I'm portraying his character to the best of my ability as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so everyone that's here watching, we still got a good 20 minutes to go or so ish, guys, but time is, believe me, that goes by fast. So I just want to remind you, if you have a question for Jeff tonight, this is the time to get it in. Super chats move to the front of the line I'll make sure we get to everyone covered before this stream ends. But also, real quick, I wanted to say we got another channel anniversary that you came in. Jerry Wilson, what's up, Jerry? Good to see you, buddy. Member for 16 months. So awesome, man. Time
Awesome, Jerry.
flies. Wow, says I love
Very
being
cool.
part of this family. Yes, thank you, Jeff, Jerry, and Jeff. That is
That's
really cool. It is.
right.
Here's something else that's really cool. Jeff Hill has gifted 5 memberships to the channel
Oh, that's
on the
awesome.
isn't that amazing? And this community is so giving
Oh,
and
that's
they're
awesome.
so generous, Jeff.
Very
So
good.
so 5 memberships have been donated. So guys, if you received the membership tonight for 1 month, and that goes out to Jasper, Jordan Snyder, Ramona Flowers, Carlo Giovanni, and Tyler Fretos. Sorry if I messed that up. You got a 1 month of membership from Jeff Hill. Be sure and thank
Wow,
him in
that's
the chat.
awesome. That's very,
So
very
cool.
cool. Nice job, Jeff.
Yes, appreciate it, Jeff. And our friend Jen is back with another super chat for $5. Thank you, Jen. She says, I'm an actor and I have to do fight scenes in my show, but I am on medical leave because apparently I cannot walk. Oh, Jen. Oh, gosh. Well, they're wanting to be safe. That's all right, Scott. Right,
Of
Jeff? They want to
course,
take it.
if you're on medical leave, you're not supposed to actually be working while you're on medical leave, or you come off medical leave and then you can work. But they
Yeah.
also want to keep you safe for sure. And apparently, I heard you broke your arm as well, so you gotta be careful with that. So yes,
No more broken bones, Jen.
right,
Rest up.
right.
Thank you, Jen, seriously for that. Now, Mr. Rick has a question that I thought was a good one too. Um, I have a question. So, did you learn Scott Foley's movements to make it look like he was in the suit or in the costume?
In this case, yes and no. As a
Okay.
stunt performer, our biggest thing is to actually mimic movements as much as possible.
Okay.
Jeffrey Dean, I've doubled George Clooney, I've doubled Ray Liotta, I've doubled all these different guys, and they all walk and move differently. And Scott's no exception. He walks differently, he runs differently, he fights, he throws a punch differently than other people. So yes, you watch what they do, but in this case, one of the things Wes didn't want was for anybody to know who was in the costume. So we
Mhm.
didn't want anybody knowing Scott was the killer. So you don't really move like Scott. So, and the same went with the other Ghostface. You don't want to look like the character you're doubling as much. So
Mm-mm.
you in this case, we did the fights, we did the falls, we did all that stuff basically as ourselves because we didn't want to throw it off and mimic somebody that the audience might recognize.
Makes perfect sense,
Yeah,
and because that's the whole, one thing about Scream films, all of them, is the mystery.
yeah,
It's so important,
yeah.
the
You
mystery
got to
element,
keep
the
the
who
mystery.
done it.
That's the best part. Yeah, that's
Yes.
what Wes wanted in the first place. Is not being nothing against other
Mhm.
villains and horror films, but they get killed and they come back, and they get killed and they come back, but it's the same person getting killed and disintegrating, and then they get assimilated again. In this case, as Wes wanted, it can really be anybody. It can be the neighbor that's in the costume. It can be
That's right.
the person that does your dry cleaning. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
who it is, and that's what keeps it so vibrant and so alive. Is it can be truly anybody you want.
It's exactly, and,
Yeah,
Sarah is, thank you for posting links for Jeff's Instagram. Guys, be sure you go follow Jeff on Instagram, please. The link is right here in the chat. You just click it, and we're also
and I'll
gonna
be
talk
putting up a
about.
web page soon as well.
Oh,
By the way,
good.
just so you know, it's
Yes.
I am the least of tech savvy people because I tend to be out falling off stuff more than I do getting on the computer. So I
That's
have
all right.
a very very talented friend of mine, Chase, who is helping me out
Mhm.
with a lot of the stuff he does and help me navigate the internet. So that'll be coming out soon as well.
Wonderful. Oh, can't wait. So, guys, it's
Yeah,
even more reason to follow Jeff because you wanna see his website when he launches it. Be one of the first
launches
there.
soon. Yeah, yeah,
That'll
yeah.
be fantastic. Um, Now, I do have a few more questions, but let's talk a little bit about what's coming up, Jeff, at the end of the month.
Sure.
Because
March
on
29th,
March,
big day.
yes, it's a
Yeah.
huge day. And we're talking about, of course, and I love this because we're both in frame, um, A Night of Screams. And
Yes.
it's
A
coming
Night
up
of
on
Screams.
Saturday, right? March 29th.
Saturday the
And
29th, we'll be in Las Vegas.
yes, and there's so much that you're going to do, right? So,
Oh, yes,
you guys,
definitely.
can you kind of just give the people a taste who haven't heard yet?
Well, the best part of this, you got all three of us. You have Lee Waddell, you've got Alan
Yes.
Robinson, and you have myself. These are the three trilogy, first, second, and third Scream Ghost Spaces. And
Yes.
unlike a convention that you buy a ticket and you go up and you wait in line and you have a chance to talk for a moment and have something signed, and then you might pay for something else or buy something else. Unlike a convention, this is a smaller, more intimate venue. The three of us are going to be with you all, who the 400, we have up to 400 tickets that we're selling, so it can sell out quick. So if you haven't
Oh,
gotten yours, take
yes.
a look. Download the information. But we have two shows going, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, both on Saturday. And we are hoping that we'll see everybody there. But it truly is, um, have a drink, sit down, talk, watch some clips, and talk about the movies with us as well. And like I said, all three of us are there to just talk amongst the crowd, and but more on an intimate situation.
Amazing.
And we're
It's gonna.
signing stuff as well,
Oh yeah.
and photo ops and all that stuff is included. So it's not like there's a
Mhm.
whole bunch more you have to pay for. It's included in the ticket.
This is truly historic, as Alan would say, and
Yeah,
it's really the first time, Jeff, that the three of you have ever been together in a setting like this. Is that
correct.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've worked with Alan many times on different shows, different movies over the years. And
Mhm.
I've worked with Lee now at conventions and stuff. He and I have been together, but this will be the first time the three of us will be together as Ghostface for sure. So it's pretty
Incredible.
iconic at this point. The trilogy
Yes.
three will be there,
The OG3 guys.
the
Think
OG
about
three,
that.
and we're very excited about it. Very excited about it.
Well, guys, listen, Sarah's doing a great job again. Thank you, Sarah. She's
Thank you,
posted
Sarah.
the link here. Go to www. Well, you actually just click it in the chat, but it's for those who are just listening on like a podcast format. It's www.anighteof.com, anighteof.com, and you're going to get all the information, everything that Jeff has laid out, plus even more. Like there's going to be food vendors there,
Yep.
right? There's going to be
Yep.
vendors, actual vendors with products and
Yes.
collectibles and
Yes. Very
rare
blessed that
things.
we have other groups that are supporting us and want to
Yes.
be a part of this. And yeah, we're very excited about it.
It's going to be amazing, guys. You guys need to make plans. Listen, airplane tickets, if you're not near Nevada or you're within driving, within 4 to 6 hours of driving distance, which is, believe me, if you're within that distance, please, you really need to go.
It'd be
This
great.
is so special. But even if you're not, if you're across the country, all right, across the world, ticket prices to Vegas are extremely affordable. I know that I saw the other day, speaking with Bill Perry, and was laying out some prices like from LA and from different cities. And these are really affordable plane tickets, guys. So don't let Vegas scare you if you're in Florida or Texas like me or anywhere else. No, they really work hard Vegas does, to get airlines prices down for them. So it's going to be very affordable. It'll be a wonderful weekend trip for you and yours, whoever you want to bring. And listen, here's an extra bonus. When you go to anighteof.com and you go to checkout, select how many tickets you want for which there's 2 shows, 11 a.m., 6 p.m. You have 2 to
Yeah.
pick from. And here's the beautiful part. Jeff, Lee, and Alan have all, because they love what I'm doing and we're all doing collectively over here on the channel, that they have offered a discount to
Yes.
this event, and it's a very special discount. And so you go and enter in the checkout, enter the promo code Craven. That's all you got to put, promo code Craven, and you're going to get a $30 discount on each ticket. All right. It was originally 15. They're like, you know what? We're going to do this extra special discount. So it's a $30 off per ticket, guys, if you enter Craven in the
Well, we
promo
appreciate
code.
people watching your show, and if we can do a little extra for that, that's awesome.
Thank you, Jeff. It's so awesome, guys. And then, so they're extending this offer to all of you here that are watching and listening to this, because they want you to be there and make it as affordable for you as possible.
Definitely.
And also, you're supporting the channel as well when you do that. So truly, it's a win-win for everybody. There's no losers in going to this convention. There's just not. So, guys, please go check it out. Anighteof.com.
Yeah.
And enter in promo code Craven, just like it is on the screen, and you're going to get that discount, and you're going to have the day or night of your life.
Yeah, we'll enjoy, we'll hang out together and talk shop and enjoy the crowd.
Yes,
but a
and then
small crowd, which is the best part. It's a little bit. It's a little while.
yes. I mean,
Yeah,
think about that, right? Because you go, in a typical, and this is nothing typical about this, because if you go to a typical convention,
sure.
they're still great, but you're dealing with hundreds, thousands even of
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
And you're
yeah,
fighting for a spot in line. Oh, am I gonna make it? Is time gonna run
yeah,
out? All this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Not happening
Sure.
here, right, Jeff? This is
Not at all.
intimate
Very much so.
and
We'll sit and have a drink and just relax and mingle amongst you, and it's not sitting behind desks and all this kind of stuff.
yes,
We are going to do Q&As and things as well, but it's just an open forum for a smaller number of people, so we can get together and get to know you as well.
fantastic. I love it. Guys, please make your plans now to go and be a part of this event and let me know if you're going. I would love to hear from you on Instagram or X or even through email. Say, hey, I'm going to go. I mean, I made plans. So just
Be
let me know.
awesome.
And we'll, because it's going to be a night to celebrate for real, a night of screams. So,
Very true.
all
A
right.
night
Now
of-
we're going to get ready to start heading down that road, guys. We got about just a few more minutes and then we're going to be respectful of Jeff's time and let him get to his family.
No, I
But
appreciate it. I appreciate
you're
it. I
very
love this too.
welcome.
You guys are all my family as well, but I do have family in town right now.
That's important. That's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
important. All right, so let me just ask you a couple of questions real
yeah.
quick. I would love to hear your answer about when you're looking at Scream 3, and I could ask this for all your movies, but let's just say Scream 3. Um, what would you say was the most difficult or maybe challenging stunt that you performed in the movie? Could you pick one out?
Oh gosh. You know, there's not doing this as long as we do.
Hmm.
I get that a lot, actually. I get that question a lot. And it's hard to answer
Okay.
because even little stuff can go wrong. And
Yes.
you never know specifically what could happen. Using one of the fake knives, using one of the real knives, using one, just not being able to see the ground properly and running up the
Mm,
stairs and whatever it is. You know, even small stuff can be difficult. So, yes, in this case, I'm not jumping out of a building or out of a plane or out of a helicopter or whatever it is, or crashing a car. We're doing fights and we're doing stabs and things like that,
mhm.
but those can go wrong as well. So I don't, there's not one specific thing I could actually
Okay.
hone in on because
No
everything
problem.
has its reasons for being either
Mhm.
difficult or not. So even a fight, just making sure you're not hitting somebody, you know, you don't want to punch
Yes.
anybody, and that includes us getting hit. So there's so many different things that we do, but I mean, everybody, I've been saying before about the Courtney Cox hitting me in the head with a vase and so on. Yes, it
Yes.
wasn't difficult. It hurt, but it wasn't difficult. But when it comes down to the running in costume and fighting and falling and going into a bookcase, or I mean, not in a bookcase,
Mm,
into a glass case or something like that, and then coming back out of it, those are all things that we pad up for. We're ready for it. We practice it. We get that kind of stuff. So it's different to ask a stunt guy sometimes what's more difficult, because even the
okay.
small stuff can be difficult. You never know.
Makes
You
sense.
just
No,
have to be prepared. Yeah, you just make sure you're
yes.
prepared.
Yes, 'cause attention to detail, I guess, right? Really, on even
Correct.
the little things. Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, hey, real quick, Super Tenor has gifted a membership tonight. Thank you, Super Tenor. That's very
Thank
kind of
you.
you,
That's
friend.
awesome. Awesome.
So cool. Um, all right, and then I wanted to also just touch on, and just so you guys know, in the audience, we're focused on Scream 3 tonight, but I want to have Jeff back on in the future, if he's willing, of course, to come back.
Sure, I'd love to.
Um, because there's a lot of other movies that you've done, and I'm talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm talking about
Yeah.
The Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Happy Death Day to You Too, I believe there's a
Yeah.
sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff was involved in these movies, guys.
The
We didn't even
original,
touch
the
on them.
original Blade, I actually doubled Chris Christopherson, so I
Oh
was
my
Whistler in the
gosh.
original Blade. So
I
that was
see it.
That was one of
Jeff,
my iconic ones. That I loved. Yeah, that was
I
a lot of
see
fun.
it. Do you know when you said Chris Christopherson and I looked at you,
Yeah,
totally see it.
it's funny because this is in my office. This is Wesley Snipes shooting me. I also played the original Die Daywalker. That's me there,
No
and he's
way.
shooting me in the chest with the shotgun in the big bloodbath dance hall scene. So
Oh,
yeah, we got a chance to do that as well. So I played a character as well
oh,
as doubled Chris, who unfortunately has passed recently, but was
yeah.
an amazing man, amazing man.
Wow.
So
It's
yeah.
incredible.
So blessed to be a part of that show as well.
It's like, I mean, it's an iconic cinema, piece of cinema. There's
Yes.
sci-fi cinema. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
And
so guys,
One of the first
mm,
Marvel actually, because Blade is Marvel.
that's
So
right.
yeah, way
Sure
back then.
is.
Yeah.
And of course, now Marvel's like drowning us, but there was a
Yeah,
time
so
when
much.
it was like nothing hardly, right? I mean, it
Correct.
was like barren.
Correct. Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
so there's lots of movies to talk about yet, Jeff, and
I'd
our
love it. That'd be great.
journey together. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'd love it to be my honor.
Oh, that'd be great. Love that.
So last question, I asked this of all of my guests because I love hearing the different perspectives
Sure.
and ideas. So for all of those who may be watching now or tomorrow or in a month or 6 months from now on replay, what advice would you give personally to someone who came up to you and said, "Hey, Jeff, I really want to be a stunt performer. I love it. I have a passion for this stuff." And or even an actor. I want to be an actor in the film
Sure.
business. What would you say to them to help get them guided in the right way?
Patience first.
Okay.
This business is up and down and up and down. And it has been that way over the last couple of years now with Screen Actors Guild. We had strikes going on with directors
Yep.
and actors and
Mhm.
IATSE background, the truck drivers and things like that as well. Patience probably is the biggest virtue, number one. The second
Okay.
thing is our times are changing. And like mentioned earlier about AI coming in and
Yeah.
changing even acting, changing stunts, because they're going to start using more computer generated CGI stuff as well as AI stuff and things like that. It's, I hate to say it, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but we are changing quite a bit. Don't give
Yeah.
up though. If it's something you really want to do and it's a passion that you want to have, find an agent. Start maybe doing. I started doing live shows. I was in Miami Vice back in California. I started Miami Vice in the '80s at Universal
Nice.
Studios, and then I
Yes.
was a Crockett character then, and I ended up moving into doing Waterworld and played Kevin Costner's character, the Mariner, for many
Mhm.
years in the beginning at Universal as well. And that gives you
Okay.
some chops. And there's East Coast and
Yeah.
West Coast places that have live shows. It gets you some chops to get going and do action and things like that. If it's not that, even extra work is a start, at least to get you to understand what's on set, who's on
Mhm.
set, who does what the priorities are, who to listen to, who not to listen to, when to talk, when not to talk, things like that. Get a
Wow.
resume together. If you want to be
Okay.
a stunt performer, get a resume together of the things that you've done, even if it's not a lot of shows. What are your skills? What do you like to do? What's your background like? And if you find a show that's local, that's in town, we can now because COVID's over, but it used to be you couldn't even come to sets any longer.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you can find a set, show up to set, be respectful, hand a resume to a PA or an AD,
Mhm.
ask who the stunt coordinator is, and drop a resume off. Don't hang out and hang out and hang out. But we're always looking for new talent, looking for new looks. There's new actors always happening. So when you have an
Yeah.
actor or a double that you need to double, maybe you're the look. So, and you have
Uh-huh.
the abilities. That's for stunts. Acting, take acting classes if you can. Master class on I'm touting a master class. Master class on an app is very, very good. I've
Mm.
watched many of them with oh gosh, Dustin Hoffman does a wonderful one.
Really?
And yeah, there's
Okay.
all kinds of stuff on Masterclass, and they do a very, very good job. So anyway,
Wow.
those are some
Yeah.
ideas at least. But if you find an agent, please don't pay for stuff. The agent shouldn't be paid to be your agent. Maybe for some headshots to start with, but it should be minimal. And then they're the ones that take a percentage when you get a job. You don't want to pay them in advance and say, okay, please buy my agent. Here's a whole bunch of money. So be careful with that as well.
Man, that's some good advice, guy. Anyone who's listening right now and wants to get in the business, you got some incredible wisdom and advice right there from Jeff Brockton. That was like thorough, and you gave such good ideas and avenues to get started. So, excuse me, thank you so much for
Sure.
sharing that
One
wisdom.
last thing about
Oh yeah,
stunts.
please.
Don't ever write down something you truly don't do. I mean, there's a lot of people that go, I love driving and I can do this. Be careful though, whatever you're going to be, if you're going to be hired. And we had somebody we hired in the past, it's been many years, but hired in the past that said they could do high falls. And we had a small high fall from 30 feet and they froze and they couldn't do it. And it's like, because they were afraid of heights, but they said they could do it on paper. But then when they got to it, they couldn't do it. And it makes the coordinator look bad and it makes the stunt performer look bad, both, because we're trusting that what you're putting down, you really can do. So be aware of that as well. If you want to do stunt work, be truthful.
Yes. You can't quote fake a stunt.
No, it's much harder to fake a stunt.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah.
And I will tell you something, Jeff, as far as me personally, you will never see a high fall on anything I write ever.
Oh,
No,
very good.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But listen, this has been a true pleasure. We're going to go ahead and wrap up now.
All right.
I
Thank
want
you,
to thank
Stephen.
you. Listen, this was amazing. And I know everyone in the audience, they've been, been texting, not texting, but they've been typing how much they thank you for coming and they appreciate it. So,
well, thank you
know
for
that
having me. I appreciate the fans very, very much. We're looking forward to a night of Las Vegas. Hopefully y'all can join us. We'd love to see you in person, and come on out. And if you can't make that for whatever reason, hopefully at a convention, we'll do this. And I'd love to come back and be with you again, Stephen, another time.
I would love that. And we'll continue and even go down new avenues when you come back. I think it would be great. Sarah Campbell, thank you for moderating the chat. You did an amazing job. As always, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
and
Sarah.
Don't forget, guys, www.anightOf.com for your tickets for the amazing event March 29th in Las Vegas at the Plaza Hotel. You have 2 shows to choose from, 11 a.m. or 6 p.m. They're going to be amazing, intimate. It's going to be an amazing and intimate environment. Guys, you need to go. But sure.
It's not a convention. It's
not.
Really just a small get together with the 3 Ghostfaces, which we'd love to have you.
Yes, thank you. And guys, they want you there. They want to meet you. They're passionate. As you can see, Jeff is passionate about you guys just as much, perhaps, as you are of Jeff. So
we appreciate everybody. I mean, that's you guys keep us going because you come out and watch the shows and you love what we do as well. So we definitely appreciate you.
It's awesome. And guys, don't forget, if you go to anightOf.com, be sure when you purchase your ticket at checkout, enter promo code Craven, because you're going to get a $30 discount on every ticket you buy. So
very good.
That's how much Jeff and Lee and Alan want to see you and appreciate you, that they're going to give you that discount. And it also helps the channel. And I appreciate that too, Jeff.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate you, Stephen.
Absolutely, man. And real quick, Carrie. Hey, Carrie, by the way, good to see you, my friend. She said, Jeff, thank you for being a part of our horror geekdom. Scream franchise is the best franchise. Amen.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. It's awesome. It's my favorite.
Me too. Hands down.
Too. It's mine too. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. We thank you. And Jeff, if you just hang tight, I'll meet you backstage.
Okay.
Real quick, and then we'll say our goodbye. So, You hang tight. For everyone in the chat, thank you for being here. This has been an amazing, amazing night. And I knew it would be with an amazing guest, Jeff Brockton, Ghostface from Scream 3.
Thank y'all for having me.
It's been our pleasure, my friend. And Jeff, we'll see you in just a second. Everyone else, share the stream, would you? Share this out on your social media, and more people will see it. And don't forget to like the stream before you leave, and subscribe to the channel if you're visiting. Would love to have you as a part of the family. Definitely. All right. We'll catch you next time. Bye, guys. See ya.